What?
Welcome to Horsefly Chronicles Radio with Julia and Philip Siracusa. Sponsored by Carnation. Airing live on United Public Radio Network on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. This show's opening has been produced, edited, narrated by Gwen Luckett at gluckett.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday night segment of Horsefly Chronicles Radio with myself, Julia Siracusa, and Phil Siracusa. We are broadcasting live from the United Paranormal Radio Network on 105.3 FM and 107.7 FM from New Orleans. We are fully sponsored by Carnation, so we want to thank them for their sponsorship. We love them. You'll have to do a few things in order to participate and chat. You can go to our YouTube station, UFO Paranormal Radio. You can go to all the Facebook stations, UFO Paranormal Radio Network, UFO Undercover with Joe Montaldo. News on the Flip Side, Twitch, SoundCloud, Podbean, and of course, our group Horsefly Chronicles Radio. And if you have any questions for our guests, please ask. We already have quite a few people in chat already.
Yeah.
So that is great. So guys, please welcome to the show Miss Allison Carmany. Allison is an intuitive and spiritual medium dedicated to one's true purpose and finding answers for countless women and empowering women to connect deeply with their inner selves, healing with trauma and to reclaim their worth. Allison has millions of views and followers and has helped so many clients get to a better place in life. So please, let's welcome her to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
Oh my
wow,
goodness.
there's so many good things about you.
It's been awesome. It's been definitely a journey to get here. So
Great.
Wow. We have chat is very, very full, I have to say. So hello, everyone who's listening and in chat. Hello. Thanks for joining us tonight. Allison, take us to the beginning of your story. Tell us and the listeners a little bit about like how you started and when did you realize that you had these gifts?
Well, it's very interesting because I don't have some experience as from a childhood perspective, which most mediums and psychics do. But instead, this gift came to me during COVID. And I've been studying metaphysics and spirituality for like 30 years. So I had already been, exploring. I'm like study. I'm just someone that loves to learn and study. And so that I have been doing like life coaching, business coaching. And then during COVID, I wasn't able to travel, wasn't able to do any of the things that I was doing. So it's like stopped my whole lifestyle. So there was more time that I was just like sitting with myself. And I was on a call with someone and it was a coaching call. And then first time I saw people that had passed over and I was like, oh my God, what is this? I'm like, I'm seeing somebody, they're showing me their pearl earrings. And she's like, well, that's my Aunt Pearl. And I was like, what? I'm like, and now they're arguing about money. And like, that's my mom and my aunt. And I was like, I had no idea. I had never had a reference for this before. Like, and I always just thought I was really good at coaching and I would know what to tell people to do with their business, would know what to tell them to do. But what I realized was that I was actually just psychically tapping into them, and I would, and that the mediumship piece then came later. And so I wanted to know, like, I wanted to know what this is and like, how do I help people with this? And so I went to school for 2 years. And this school is in Lilydale, New York. And it's actually where there's a lot of paranormal stuff and a lot of ghosts, a lot of stuff, because it's the home of spiritualism. And as soon as I got to this place, I just knew, I'm like, this feels like home. Because, and then I did, finished a 2-year program there. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then, but then I realized I was like called to it again. It's like this, I realized that I've got to use the channel. And if I don't use the channel on a regular basis, it turns into frustration. It's like kind of like the open channel. It's like I use the channel and then it like releases. Does that make sense?
Yes.
A lot of people had that similar experience, and I didn't realize. I'd be like, oh, I'm feeling so frustrated. And then I'd realize, okay, I'd use the channel. And I'm like, oh, I feel like uplifted. I feel good. So, so then I've done like hundreds of readings from my certification. And then that's how I really got good. And then just what I found that people really are more interested in is not necessarily the psychic, but the mediumship.
Yes.
Because it's proof that spirit really is here. And like, you can prove that. And for me, it's like proving to myself. I'm like analytical. I wanted to understand, like, is this real? Like, and I had so many, like so many readings of like, okay, there's no way this person would have even known this. They had to ask their mom. They had to ask like other family members. It's like, so I realized, okay, this is like real stuff.
Oh my, that's amazing. I love that story. Right,
Yeah.
Phil?
Yeah. So this was during COVID.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it wasn't even that long ago that this came, and I'm always shocked by it. Like, what comes out of the reading, and like, how do I know this and all that stuff?
I can relate to this. And do you think it's so weird how everybody is starting to really open up more the older they get? Because it happened to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like an answer for that? Like, why is this happening to so many people now?
I really think that it's the Great Awakening that's happening. And so I went to go use a hashtag on TikTok as the Great Awakening, and it was blocked. And I was like, why are they blocking this? And then I went to do research on that tag, and I found out that the Great Awakening happened like 3 times before in history. And I thought, well, if we all knew that we were part of the Great Awakening, then we could gather together, like just like it was Black Lives Matter. It's like everybody gathered together. It's like the Great Awakening, everybody. So we're not having our own individual awakening. Instead, we're having it as a collective, right? But there's no way to come together. Everyone is having this awakening to some degree, and we're all separated. And so they don't want us to band together to realize, oh my gosh, I'm having these strange occurrences happening. I'm having this, like, so many people are messaging me on a day-to-day basis saying, like, I want to learn how to harness the skill. I want to learn how to develop my intuition because I'm having this happen to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does when you say medium and you channel people like that, can you explain that in more detail? So what does channeling mean?
Well, channeling is when someone's channeling, they can either channel and get someone that's passed over, or you can get someone, a celestial being, or you can get an ET, right? That's where you're just opening to the energy. And for me, I like to do evidential mediumship because angel. I can say, oh, you've got a guardian angel, or you've got, there's no proof in that. And so what I found is when I go into somebody's energy, depending upon the person's, how they passed over, the death or whatever, like I'll actually have to drop my frequency and my energy to be with the person that has passed over. But when I'm connecting with the angelic beings, that's a higher vibration. Connect with the ETs, that's a higher vibration than that. So it's like they're all at a different frequency.
Aha. So they're on a different frequency. Are they on a different playing field when paranormal investigators like myself go out there and investigate? And sometimes you'll get something that it seems like it's from another world, and sometimes you'll get a regular ghost spirit, someone who's crossed over. So they're different playing fields that we're communicating with.
Yes. And they're just different dimensions, and each dimension is different beings. Like if, it's like you could even connect with the angelic beings, or you can connect with the demonic. It's all at a certain frequency.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And a lot of people, and even me, myself, because I want to tell this to the viewers, I was scared to do this because of, like whatever the myths are. But what I found was, and this is what I found consistently with other people, is like when you're in fear about this, you're bringing that energy in, and you're going to attract more of that. But if you are at a high frequency, you're holding your energy in a high frequency, and you don't buy into that energy, then you can't be affected by it. Does that make sense? Because can only connect to that lower energy and feed into that when you're at the frequency of fear.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
So
they try to break you down to that level, the lower vibration, so that they feed off of you, and then it makes a lot of sense. I mean, we obviously live in a haunted house, so we can relate to that. Now, time for the good stuff, everybody. This special guest tonight had said she was going to give me, Phil Syracuse, that's right, AKA Phil right here, a reading. So go ahead and lay on me.
Okay.
He's like a little child.
Are we ready to air Phil's dirty laundry?
Let's air it all. Let's do it. I'm smiling right now, but I hope I'm really smiling at the end of the reading.
Okay.
Your discretion is advised. If you're under 18 years old, you better log off right now. This is not rated PG, so we don't know what this is going to be rated. So,
Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to connect in psychically, and then we'll move to anybody that's passed over. If you have some loved ones that have passed over.
Oh wow, I like that. Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing is, when I connect it with your energy, it's like you take nothing at face value. It's like everything is like some sort of there's some deeper meaning or something behind this. And I've got to dig to get it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It's like everybody, and it's also, there's also like everybody has to prove themselves. It's like nobody can get like a free lunch pass. It's like, no, they have to prove themselves.
Yep.
And so, within your relationships, like a lot of things, it's like you have to work, like there's some skeptical things about, like, you see everything as a little bit skeptical. Does that make sense? Before you kind of trust that it's real, it's like everything comes in as skeptic, and then you're like, okay, there's enough proof, there's enough evidence for me to believe this is true.
Yeah, that's true.
But it has to go through the filter first. And it's like
80 times.
Yeah, Phil's filter of his like evidence, and it's got to go through, like, he has like a like how I'm seeing it is like a file for each piece of evidence. Okay, check that off. Check that off. Okay, this is finally past my test.
Yeah, we get
Oh,
everything.
I can definitely agree with that one. There's a checklist for that one.
um, one of the things that's positive that maybe the viewers don't know about you is you have a lot of connection with your heart. And like as a man, usually like men are disconnected, but you have this like caring for people and like wanting to serve them, like heart centered. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that does.
And it's like, what can I do? Like, I hear you asking the question, like, what can I do for my viewers? How can I serve them? Like, how can I get the information? Like, how can I make the information in bite-sized pieces to serve them? It's like, that's like your drive to constantly show up and improve yourself based on like helping others.
Definitely.
So it's like the drive isn't like to become better. It's like how can I serve people better? Does it make sense?
Yeah, in the fashion of, teaching the world that paranormal phenomenon does exist, that spirit guides do exist, and that's been my mission from day one.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like look at your guys' background. I just saw like I just looked at, she sent me the message and then I just said, okay, I'll show up. Okay. So have you had anybody pass over?
Oh, well, I'm 56 years old, so I got quite a few on my bucket list.
Okay. Give me the whole bucket list.
How do I do that?
Give me some of them.
I mean, we're talking aunts, uncles, family, cousins, relatives, friends, exes. We're talking, I don't even know where to start. Like, I'd have to go through the alphabet and take up the whole show. So you could just tell me, if anyone's coming through that wants to say, hey, what's up, Phil?
Okay. And so right now I do have a male. Has your dad passed?
No, he's still alive.
Okay. So then your grandfather. Has your grandfather passed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I felt like this person has a mentor energy. It's like someone that you learned you learned from. Okay. When I see your grandfather, and also I want to just preface that this could be somebody else, but I'm going to give as much evidence as I can for you to say, yes, this is him. Okay. So I see him working at a workstation, kind of like with wood, like sawing.
Okay.
Does this have a connection with
Okay. So when I was born, both my parents were already deceased, the grandfathers. When I had a near-death experience in 1981, I met my grandfather on the other side, who gave me somehow telepathy information, and a welcoming. So I took that back, but I never met him physically in the physical realm.
Okay. So I'm going to do someone then that we can actually provide actual evidence of, so that we can show the viewers this. But so just give me someone else that you have.
Okay, so my mom recently passed last December 2022. Let's see if she's around.
Okay. Okay. As soon as I connect in with her, she has this kind of like this bigger dress on that's gray is the base color with flowers, and it's long dress. And her hair is like bigger through here. And she's in the kitchen right now, and she's like has like a tray of muffins. Does that seem like a description of her?
Her hair was up. It was like, I can't describe hair, but yeah, the hair is correct. The muffins in the kitchen is correct. The dress,
Yeah, the dress could be. Yeah.
The dress.
Yeah, I don't know about the dress.
Yeah. But so and she's like motioning me for like hospitality. It's like, have a seat. Like she's like someone that's like goes out of her way to serve. It's like she's getting me like iced tea, lemonade. Like, what do I want to drink? Like making sure
That's
I'm
true.
comfortable. Like, how am I feeling? Are you okay? You know?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
at this like it feels like even like a bench like in the kitchen, like it's like a bench that's feels rounded. It's like but like everything feels like it revolves around the kitchen and like how she can like her hospitality.
That's
um,
true.
That is
and,
true.
and like serving what I want, not like what does she want to serve me? Like how can she get the food for me that I would like she wants to
Yes.
know in advance what is the food that I like so that
Yeah.
she can make sure to have that ready for me
That's
so
true.
that
true.
like I feel comfortable. Like it's all about my comfort, you know?
That's true.
And she's so sweet. Like she's so connected to her heart and like is so loving, you know, like if like expresses this consciously expresses outward the love. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like someone like usually that generation is very closed off
Mm-hmm.
and not doesn't feel like comfortable or safe to express themselves in that way, but is like your mom just has this loving, sweet energy that would never hurt a fly. And you know how she views people, and she has this strict side of her. It's like, don't double cross me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, she was very nice and caring and giving. And she never really, she never had anything bad to say about anybody.
Yeah.
So if I would ask you a question right now, like, did she know where I went a week ago, or something like that, that would resonate to her? Are you able to channel that?
Well, I can see, but the thing is they want to talk about what they want to talk about, not
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
what I mean. So I've tried to get information with them, and then like specific information, they'll go talking about something else because it's like what they feel is like they have their time of what they want to talk about. It's like, for instance, is like what they told us in school is like, don't talk about their clothing because they're going to come in clothes already. So it's like, that's not important. Talk about what they want to talk about. So, let me see about where, okay. So she just showed me, a cemetery. Is there a connection with that?
1 week ago.
Okay. Yes. And it feels like there was like, did you bring like plastic flowers and real flowers?
No, I didn't bring anything.
Okay. Because it feels like she has some plastic flowers on her grave.
That's true.
Because she's just motioning like it's like and she's saying like sometimes those are removed and sometimes those are put it back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true too. They just regraded the ground over there, I noticed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And so what she's showing me right now, a letter. Was there a letter?
Yes. Wait.
Wait, this is my reading, Julie, not yours. You're stealing my reading. I'm supposed to say yes, no, and give all the expressions, and you're stealing my
You
reading.
only turned it to me.
It's not
Did you
fair.
know that? Tell me more about the letter.
It feels like it was written from mom to like Phil, and it was like kind of like a closure or something, like more it feels like there's something that like was being expressed, like
Okay.
finally expressed, like finally resolved.
Okay. I don't know if that resonates with him, but it does resonate with me because I did write her a letter and I put it in her coffin with her.
Okay.
Yes. So it was a letter like that, but it was for me.
Okay.
And to be honest, I don't really think Phil really even knew about it until maybe like at the end.
Okay. And also I want to tell you guys that I'm interpreting. So I don't get the information in like clear. I get the information in, and I have to interpret the information, right? Because it comes in, when information comes in, it comes in sign and symbol. So it's like, I have to get the information and then interpret the information based on like what I feel, what I'm feeling from it. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. But I feel like there was like this finalization of like there was like in this letter was like the finalization of like what is like was the closing. Does that make sense?
Well, you know what makes sense about that is that it wasn't a physical letter, but it was a spiritual letter. And the reason I say that is because when we knew she was going to cross over, we said, you should go. It's time to go home, meaning go home to the light. And we all said it individually. And I feel like that was the closing piece of the spiritual letter.
Yeah.
That was given, is that it's okay.
Yeah, because one of the things is like there was a hesitation on her part. But do you have a sister?
Yes.
Okay. And there feels like there was something that like needed to be said with her before your mom's crossing. Like something that your mom was waiting on in order to kind of like to finalize, like to feel safe to go.
I think, well, she did the same thing. We all said it's time to go.
Yeah. Maybe she was she waiting on your sister though?
I don't know. Well, I have two sisters, so that's a good question. I mean,
okay.
It's possible.
It's possible, yeah. That's possible.
Because it's like what she's saying is like there needed to be a finalization and everybody to be present for that finalization.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just got the chills on that one. That is true. I feel like she did wait until we were all there to say goodbye and to let her know that it was okay to go.
Yeah, so, and this sister feels like she had to travel. Like there's something about like her not coming.
No.
Well, she traveled from New Jersey to New York.
Yeah, it wasn't a long travel though, but
okay.
But travel's travel.
Yeah, that's true.
Something about that was like, it's like she wanted to make sure that everybody was present. It's like, and there was that resolution that she could finally release. And she's telling me something about like her last breath. It's like the breathe and then the exhale. It's like, and then like, did you guys see that spirit leave?
No, we were there early afternoon, and then we got the call 9:30 at night.
Okay, because what she's saying is like they're okay. Maybe you felt it, because what she's saying is she's acknowledging like your knowing of that last breath and then the release of her spirit. Did you feel that transition?
At home, yeah, we don't live in that state, but at home, I felt, when you get that inner feeling of knowing, like you're on edge and you're ready to you don't want the news, but you're going to get the news.
Right. So she said she's just acknowledging that feeling that you got, like where you had that knowing that she had crossed over, whether you consciously knew it or not, but she's saying that like she's acknowledging your connection to that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
She's showing me some like knitting or sewing, and it feels like it's connected with a hat.
So she used to knit back in the day, loved to knit and crochet. Make
Okay.
hats, scarves, sweaters, blankets.
Okay. And do you still have a hat that she's knit?
I don't think so. Probably at the house when I go visit, they're there, but not in my home. Not that I know of, anyway.
Okay, because she's referencing that now. It's like, we got to keep your head warm. She's saying we got to keep your head
Yeah, well, I
warm.
did lose all my hair when I got married, so I better keep something warm.
Oh, yeah, right. I blame everything.
I'm
Yeah,
not blaming them. I'm saying kids, marriage, stress. I used to have
Women.
that shit. Like,
we have, go ahead, I'm sorry.
let her finish. So I don't have the hat, but I'm gonna find a hat now, Julie. When we go back to the house, I want to get that hat, put it on.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, it's there at the house somewhere.
She's just taking me back to her house, like in showing me like through growing up. It's like this place was like a place of like hangout. It's like everybody, it was like everybody came and she was entertaining everybody. It's like this was like the neighborhood, the people. It's like everyone felt comfortable and to just pop in and like just this place of like Grand Central.
I got to be honest with you. I have the chills because you just hit something 1000% on the head. Most definitely. The answer is most definitely.
Yeah.
It was the hangout house.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And, she like was so non-judgmental, like whatever someone looked like, they were allowed in. And it wasn't like, oh, we don't take those kinds, like, please come in, and like that. And that's kind of Phil, she's referencing like, that's kind of where you got your hospitality from. It's like, I don't judge anybody. Like I give them the benefit of the doubt. Like let's give everybody a chance. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like she's saying that that's like one of the traits, one of her good traits that rubbed off on you.
Well, at least something rubbed off on me. One.
No, but that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. She's taking me to the fridge, like motioning, like, oh, I've got all Phil's favorite foods in here.
This is true.
And I got Phil's ice cream.
Hey, what are you laughing about?
You're good.
This is my reading. You can't be laughing at my reading.
Funny.
Wait, we got to be professional here. And it's like, sometimes you're at home and your own fridge and you're looking for your favorite foods, like as if you were at home with mom.
True. Except for the kids get to it first.
And it's like, what she's showing me is like the fridge is your happy place.
Julie, don't make any comments. Don't make any comments right now. Yes. Yes, I'm chained to the refrigerator. Yes, I love the refrigerator.
It's true.
3 o'clock in the morning when everybody's sleeping, yes. I told you, discretion is advised here.
That's sweet.
And she's also showing like that like Phil likes to like his habit he likes is like to just fall asleep on the couch.
I'm dying. And on the shows.
Hey mom, you better not tell her too much. Could you hear me? That's it. Not my personal information getting out there.
You are good. Absolutely. But it's funny you say that because we just had.
All right, I fall asleep watching movies. Yes,
I'm not
yes,
saying it
yes.
because I'll get in trouble, but yes, absolutely.
Fall asleep watching movies. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get a lot on my mind. Sure.
Yeah.
Can I wake up and say, what happened in that part of the movie? I
He
paid
can
$20 for a
sit in
movie
a
ticket, I
chair.
went to fall asleep in a movie theater, and I wake up, it's like it's over already. I just lost $20.
He can sit in a chair and fall asleep, and I'm jealous because it takes me like 5 hours to fall asleep, but he's just like boom out anywhere. Passed out. But that's crazy.
Yeah. So.
But that definitely resonates. You are right. I'm laughing because it's true, and it's amazing how you picked up those little things, and that shows the validation of you and how authentic you are. Because, look, that's something that was kind of personal in a way, and
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't get any more deeper than that, But
I'm telling you. Allison, I will text you later and tell you why I'm laughing because I can't say it on air, but it's funny.
We have
all
to
right,
keep.
can you let her finish the reading and tell all the good stuff about me? And I hope the viewers and listeners aren't getting bored out there. This is important. This is about my life. Come on, guys.
We have a
It's hard for this
lot of
reading.
people in chat. We're gonna have to start giving shout outs.
Hey, Mom, do you have the winning lottery numbers for tonight? Give me some good luck.
Yeah. We'll get those off air. The winning lottery numbers.
Well, I want to. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
No,
Okay,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, are you finished with Phil? Because he'll get mad at me.
Let me see if Mama has anything else to say. She was just showing me her stockings, like she would put them up, like they go up half her leg. Does that have any connection, like hose? It feels like
I don't know the name of those socks, but those long, ugly, stupid socks back in the 60s and the 70s. I don't know what they were, part of the fish tank or socks, but yeah, I definitely can resonate with that.
And it feels like there's some sort of like joke around them.
Well, I just made a joke now, but I mean, we laugh about it, of course. And I'm going back 100 years ago. God, I'm ancient.
Like her not wanting to take them off, like even when she's sleeping, it's like, Ma, like take these off.
Oh, that's probably something she would do.
So she's just like was really just joking around with you, like to kind of joke and to show me your relationship. The nature of your relationship was really the basis of joking and having fun. It's like light. It was always light. And the connection you guys had. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really do. The refrigerator, the sleeping on the couch, and the hospitality back in Staten Island, New York, where we grew up, was an open door. Everybody ate. It was an open door policy. Today, we got to look through the window and peek who's at the front door and run. It's a different world, different time, but I definitely agree. 1000%. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see. Caitlin says, so sorry about your mama. Oh, thank you. That's nice. There's so many people in chat. Brandy, I'm trying to see. I have bad eyes, guys. I can see you all. Joan, hi. Everybody's just hi, hello. How are you? So many people in there. So
wow. That's because Julie, we never have more than 3 people in chat.
Should we address Mallory's question? She said, how do you learn from it? For example, if you feel like you're feeling someone else's energy, but not your own.
Of course.
Okay. So one of the things that I had to do research for myself was because I didn't trust myself. It's like I would get something and then I wouldn't trust it. For my own self, it was only after doing all these readings that I really start to trust, okay, I know that I can trust that this is what I'm feeling. And so what I would do is when someone's learning, I would kind of just start by practice, because the only way you're going to get good at something is by practicing something. I've just had a lot of practice. That's how I'm good. That's the only difference between, I feel like everybody's intuitive. It's like we've shut down that third eye because the 5 senses, the world shows us through the five senses, and that's how we stay stuck in the matrix, right? But if you want to go beyond the matrix, it's through the six senses, which is all those senses of the psychic senses, right? Through the hearing, the visual, the smell, the feeling. Though all those senses are things that have been shut down, so we have to develop those again, because over time we've just shut those senses down. Maybe we got scared, maybe we weren't comfortable, maybe we got in trouble for saying something. And so what we have to do is start practicing with those senses. So, you could practice with another person, or you could practice with yourself, like saying, okay, my friend said she's going to go out tonight, and then she doesn't, but I'm not feeling that she's going to do it, follow through. And it's like, just to test to see, like, when you get that feeling, like, what does it feel like when it feels right? And like, that's like, you have to just to really expand those senses. You have to work with them, just like anything, because so many people want to know how to do it, but it requires practice.
It does. I agree. It does require a lot of practice. It does.
You have an amazing gift and talent, and your energy is very vibrant, which is incredible. And that's why you attract so many positive things. I could see that,
Yeah.
And that's great because you're receptive and yet you're helping people.
Yeah, I have done so much study so that when I'm in front of someone, I can really like assist them to the most level, because it's like, it's also beyond the psychic and the mediumship. It's also coaching, to help people to like break through, like they're having something issue, like they need to like break through something, like I see a lot of lineage stuff that plays, like patterns that repeat, that are negative. I kind of go after like the underworld. It's like I'm a double Scorpio. So I like to go after the shadow and really to see what's blocking people, and then to assist them to say, like to move through that.
Yeah. There is a
That's
question
great.
here. Allison, can you read it?
Yeah. How do you know if your spouse is the person that is meant for you? Is there a way to know and be guided by the spiritual world to know for sure? What I would say for that is, and let's get your guys' feedback on this. From the perspective of relationships in general, I feel like people come in for lessons that you have to like learn.
Sure.
So it's like, yes, this person is serving you right now with what you're
Soul group. They're part of the soul group.
Yeah.
And sometimes we look at things as permanent when it's not permanent. It's permanent in the spiritual realm of, I needed to learn that lesson with this person. And then we look back at relationships, right? And like, why was I with this person? And then when it's like a puzzle. And then when you look at the puzzle, like, wait a second, I learned this experience from this person and I moved on to this person. And that's the meaning of everything, is that it's a learning curve. This is school. And this is Earth school.
Yeah. And I feel like it's not necessarily about the person. It's more about, these are the lessons that I have to learn. So it's like, who is going to serve me the most in that? Like, but you won't know what necessarily the lessons are. The best thing I can say is, like, I was married for 20 years, and with like that relationship brought the worst version of me that existed on the planet to come out. But it's like, that stuff I had to work through to get to where I am now. But so would I say that that was the wrong person? It wasn't. It served me for where it served me where I needed to go, where I am now. And it's like, so I feel like there are relationships that people come in, and I feel like you can stay forever and learn lessons and stuff, and maybe communicate in a more effective way to be able to work the relationship to stay together. And there's stuff that I feel like as you evolve, you don't evolve together.
Yeah.
And you have to be like on the same page with your continuously learning and evolving. Otherwise you outgrow the person, You know what I mean? If you're like improving your life, you want to like stop bad habits, stop like overeating, drinking, drugs, whatever it is you're doing, like, and you were doing that with the partner, and then you want to stop that. It's like, well, if that person's still stuck there, then you're not going to evolve. So it's like, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Absolutely.
So to answer a question is that, you know, instead of asking, like, I don't ask, is this good or is this bad? Or is this negative or is this positive? I look at, is this serving me? You know, and I ask that question, and that way I get a better answer than is this right or wrong or negative or positive? Because there is no, everything's neutral. You know, the universe is neutral. It's just like, what is your perspective on it?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this. I want to play devil's advocate myself.
Yeah.
Throughout time and history, Earth and the people on Earth have been nothing but a chaos of greed and mankind is selfishness and the overwhelming murders and mass suicides and governments against governments. And this has always been, and it always carries on. And you have these abilities as a psychic and a medium, and we see what's going on when you turn the news on now.
Yeah.
And we can't sugarcoat that in any way and say, well, look, it is what it is, because the truth is we're living part of this problem. Now, we can't, obviously, we can't fix the problem of governments and how they go to war and destruction. But where do you see things turning? Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel of Earth and mankind? Or is the light at the end of the tunnel to each person's own existence and when they're getting taken away from this chaos?
Yeah. Ooh, I feel like that's the question of the day.
We cannot sugarcoat it, and it is not a neutral effect, okay?
Yeah.
It is death, it is destruction, and it's built on greed and more greed. It all turns down to what land is mine, what's mine, and the religion wars. And so we see this, right, as a culture. And where do you see this turning for mankind? Or is it part of the revelation where, quite frankly, we're in those times, we're in the end times, before the light at the end of the tunnel?
So I'm going to answer that like in like two separate ways, but this is how I see, with what you just shared. It's like you have gone down rabbit holes to find the information, and like I'm sure a lot of the viewers too, like down these deep rabbit holes only to feel helpless. And my evaluation of what I decided, and sharing it so the viewers can adopt it too, is like, I came here as a light worker. Like, there are people that are put into positions of power that, like in politics or whatever it is, that then their life has already been organized, set up to like whistleblow at this one moment for that time. But like, I don't necessarily, I'm like here to raise the light. Like, I'm not here to like worry about like that, because I'd be like, well, what do I need to do to put out the information to stop that, or whatever. But I realized that I am here to raise the vibration and like help to raise the vibration on the planet. And when I get involved in all that stuff in my mind, I get lower my vibration. I can't assist people. So
I get that. Yeah.
So I wanted to share that so that people can feel that that's what their purpose is. If you, aren't in a position of power, that if you spoke out, like you would actually make a difference, like meaning like in politics, it's like people, there's some big players right now, like in the radio, that are speaking out against this. I feel like these people their lives were set up so that they could have a big platform right now to really make a big difference and be an authority with integrity to speak out of what's going on. So in that, it's like, okay, that's what they were like put here to do. And it's like, feel I've been put here to like raise the vibration. But as far as how I see the world going, is there is two tiers of consciousness happening on the planet right now. And Dolores Cannon has spoken about this, and I've had several other people that I know that have spoken about this, but there's the tier of like tier 1. It's like there's this destruction happening in the 3D world, and that stuff is breaking down. And as that's breaking down, we're moving into a higher dimensions of reality. And that's the 5D. And so some of us have already made the bridge to the 5D. And how it's explained is that we won't see the people in the 3D. We'll only see, if we've raised our consciousness, we'll only see the people in that dimension.
Yeah.
So there'll still be an earth that is destructed in the 3D, and those people will be living in that. And then the people that have raised their consciousness will be living in the higher consciousness of the planet. Does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense, but in reality, I get what you're saying. I because I'm a spiritualist, so I get exactly what you're saying, and it makes sense. And the reality part of the sense is that we're at the will of the governments, and whatever happens, happens. If you wake up tomorrow, you wake up tomorrow. If you aren't nuked. So we could put ourselves in that higher place. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. But the higher place can be, unfortunately, overran by whatever happens.
Yeah. And this is the reality, is that you have a choice to focus on that.
Right.
Focus on, I'm here to, like, regardless of circumstances that are happening, like, I'm going to show up this way. And that's what I do. Like every day I'm like, okay, well, who do I want to be today? Like, and when the choices, every single choice we make, okay, in the quantum world, they said there's over 10,000 versions of you. So there's countless versions of you that exist. So there's of all of us.
I'm joking. I know. I'm just saying of me. I have to make light of it, of me. Well, I feel bad for them. If there's 10,000 of me in that universe, then I feel really bad for them because I don't make all the right choices.
Julia says, please, I can only deal with one.
God. You have no idea what I go through here.
10,000 of me alone? Wow.
So
I kind of feel honored. Go ahead, finish.
So there's a version of you in your old timeline that still exists. And,
Wait, there it goes. There it goes. I was waiting to pull that out of you. I'm a spiritualist. I was waiting to pull that out of you in a different way, and I did, and I agree with you. And let me tell you why this guest tonight is real. Because I have had hundreds of guests on my show, Julia and I. And knowing what I know and the information I know and what she just said rings true. And these dimensions, there's different segments of us through timelines that exist. And again, this is out there, this is true, and this is documented. Mm-hmm. I had an abduction, yes, alien abduction in the 80s. And I remember verbatim what happened to me, what this thing said to me. The voice came through, and this is what it said when I was 14 years old. He stopped me in the middle of a street with all kids playing in a dead of summer. Cars were trying to pass by, they couldn't. He says, Philip, are you having a good time in your life now? And through my mind, I'm like, yes. He goes, good. Because this is where you will wind up when your life journey is complete. And I was released. And what he had told me, and was broken down to me when I spoke to various people around the world that knew about this field of UFOs, is that we are dimensional ourselves, and that when it's my time to cross over somehow, and again, this is mind-blowing, I go back to that same exact footprint and start from that point on to go through these experiences on a high vibration. So the answer is we are also multidimensional. And you said something else that rang true. We have 5 senses in the physical realm. There's abundance of senses when you cross over. And they're here to teach as well, some of these beings, and let us know that it's not what you think it is. And there is no such thing as death. Death does not exist. We call it death, decay of the body. we go on to other dimensions and platforms of ourselves in different versions. And some of us take on the same footprint and version, and it's the same people around. And I know it's far out there, but it makes total sense when you really get into this field of the matrix and getting out of the matrix. And wait, there's a karmic view of I may have to do certain things again to get it right the next time.
Yes.
So bang, kudos to you.
Yeah. And also I want to tell the viewers this, that the timeline. So how do we get to the higher timelines? Because that's the higher version of us. And that's through raising our frequency. We can get our frequency and vibration are the same thing. I'm just using them in different ways, but it's like when we raise our vibration, we can get to the higher timelines that we can exist at. Because let's just say I'm doing drugs, I'm drinking, I'm doing things that are detrimental for me, bad habits. I'm going to be on a lower timeline for myself versus like I'm doing the best thing I can do for myself. I'm really doing the work that I need to do. I'm eating a clean diet. I'm working out. I'm moving, pushing forward. I'm serving others. It's like I'm on the higher timeline because I've raised my frequency. And at any one moment, I can lower that frequency and go back to a lower timeline.
Yeah.
But with this is also, there's no past, present, or future. So it's not linear. So the future's already happened. And we are in retroactive back to the future. So we already know what's happened with the planet. We've already been here before. And we're like responding to that.
Yeah.
And so what we can do to become the most powerful version of ourselves is we can realize that a lot of the stuff that we're repeating in these patterns is in the past. And we have to really have a strong vision, compelling vision for our future and be focusing our attention on that compelling vision. And that puts us on the higher timeline. Because it's more about like, who am I going to be? Who am I being? It's not necessarily what I'm doing. And as a result of that, it's like, I'm going to make choices that are aligned with the higher timeline. Like if I'm like some celebrity, I want to be in Hollywood. Well, then I'm focusing my attention on the future, and the brain doesn't know the difference between whether it's real or not real. It's happened or not. If I'm visualizing it and then the brain believes it to be true, well, then I'm then focusing my attention in the future.
Absolutely.
And like the highest times for manifestation are in the morning and in the eve and right before we go to bed, because those are when our brain is in the theta brainwave state. And that's when we're suggestible to information. And so we can start to program our minds to believe the future's already happened.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
And I really feel like that's what, like, people, feel depressed, or they feel, sad, or they feel like they don't have purpose. It's like, well, then put your attention on the future and what you want to create. But the matrix has kept us into self-doubt and self-pity and like depressed and helpless and all that stuff. And so we're not going to get out of that except to focus our attention on the future and what we want to create. Because then we become creators of our reality rather than victims of our reality.
Very good. I like that.
I like that. That's nice.
Allison, we have come to the end of the show. I mean, it just had flew, but I would love to have you back. There's so many people in chat that are asking questions. I would like to have you back on the show to maybe give readings to some of our people in chat.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
It's an hour show, guys. It goes by so fast, so I apologize. I see there's so many people in there. You have a lot of fans.
Yay!
Thank you so much for coming on tonight. We really, really appreciate it. It's been a great show. We love you.
Yes.
It's been awesome.
Yes, thank you. And Julia, we got to do your reading and we'll record it. And
I'm going to message you. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited for mine.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys. This is so awesome.
It's a lot of fun. And to everybody out there, Julie, before you wrap up the show, to everyone who's listening, do you know where I'm going right after this seat?
To bed.
The refrigerator.
The couch.
Well, I'm going to eat, then I'm going to sleep. And they're going to wake up and say, what are we watching on TV? All right, Julie, wrap it up.
All right, guys. Special thank you to Carnation for fully sponsoring the show from day one. We love them. Thank you so much. Please join us next week on the United Public Radio Network on 105.3 and 107.7 FM from New Orleans. Thank you, Allison, for coming on tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody in chat. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great night. Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.